Hello everyone, welcome back to the race of New Horizons Racing League Division 2. Still me, the 7 guys are just readying up on the grid now, and fingers crossed, if that weather is anything to play by, we're hoping for a dry race. I don't have any intel on if it's going to be a wet race later on, but we'll see what happens, and I really hope we're going to get a good race out of these guys. I don't know if they'll be able to compete with the race of Division 1, because that I remember when Division 1 went to do Russia, it was a little bit of a somber mood for everyone because it was literally the day after the passing of Charlie Whiting. But Jeremy Morris storming it. What the hell is he doing? I worry for that Red Bull pair sometimes. But Jeremy Morris on pole position, getting the bonus 2 points ahead of his teammate Sweeney in second place. Blaze Bergaman, the Division 2 champion, will start third. Is going to be giving the Red Bulls a run for the money, hopefully, this evening. Slav King's behind him. Ferrano is just hoping to grab a few more points and stay his championship position. Dragon on Speed, decent qualifying actually, compared to the guys who've got around him, but I think he'll be fighting for more. He will certainly want more toward the end of the race. Deranged, I just hope you have a really good race, mate, and grab a few points where and whenever you can get them. And Bradley rounding off the grid, and despite Bradley's pace, he is actually, I don't think consistency is not the word. Is it reliable? Either way, he can finish. He finishes races, and he is normally able to actually grab a handful of points for his team, which are in a constructors fight with Mercedes. So Collins and AG30 are going to need to be pulling the fingers out whenever they can get back online. Jamie Morris actually getting disqualified. But with the tyres, everyone is not going to be using the soft tyres. It's all going to be hypers or ultras, where I think we can tell the guys that are going to be going for longer. I think Blazed has actually done the best strategy for his situation, and Dragon, only the Sauber's actually starting on the ultra soft tyre. You'd think that Slav King might be able to be blazed off the line. I'm also expecting the Red Bulls to pull away very quickly, but the tyres will deg quicker. I'm not expecting any pit stops unless anything happens until around lap 10. This is a really... there we go, that's the camera angle I'm after. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go in Russia. It's a really terrible start from the pole sitter, and both Saubers have able to jump him off the line. He's actually nearly last coming into the first corner. We all start streamlining down towards turn 2 now, and the Sauber's already fighting with Slav King. Nothing too silly, I fear not. Deranged just getting a little bit off track through turn 2, and they come around turn 3 now. And Blaze are going all over the back of Sweeney. See at the back there as Bradley's going off the track. Jamie Morris having the horrid starts, and Bradley actually going massively wide. So there's a huge tank slap on the exit for Blazed. We're still charging down the Red Bull. Dragon on Speed all over Slav King as well. We don't want to be overdriving the cars too quickly in this first lap. There is a yellow flag. Don't really know who that's for. They've all gotten away pretty cleanly. Just got to try to keep an eye on the gaps now. But I think that Red Bull is a little bit stagnant actually. He's got the advantage, but I think he'll be able to stay with him. There's Jamie all over the back of Deranged having the shocking start. He'll be desperate to fight for the back of the field now, as I think it was hope. Oh, there's a huge wide moment for Deranged there. Sorry about that camera angle. I hope there wasn't any drama in that little mishap there. Sweeney setting the provisional fastest lap of 1:37.2. Obviously they will be going quicker, but absolute horrid start for Jamie there. I don't know if he probably went into anti-stall coming off the grid. I think they're very lucky that we've actually done it as a 50% race today. We were debating on, because of the numbers, to do 25%, but they were all like, oh, it'll be a sprint race, so whoever leads off turn 1 will end up winning. But it's a pretty decent show so far. I'd love to see how Jamie can come back through the field. I was actually really hoping to see more of a battle between him and his teammate, but it's still his teammate is now under pressure from Blazed. That I'm aware of, Sweeney and Blazed are both wheel users, so I'd love to see how quickly they spread out from the field. I think I'm dragging on speed somewhere. But Jeremy having probably the worst start of his season. He's already putting up a big fight to the cars around him, and Blazed is still closing on Sweeney. I can see that Sauber twitching to try and keep itself in a straight line. And try to see setup wise, really smooth job from there. Yeah, that's a perfect setup that's on the Sauber. No DRS as of yet. It'll have, and Blazed beating the fast lap. Oh. So I'm struggling to keep up with this. Jamie now setting fast lap with 135.2. He'll have slipstream. I think he's using his ERS coming into turn 2. Close, but not too close. Jeremy, in the meantime, actually overtaking South King. I've got to try and keep my eye on the gap between those lot. A little bit twitchy around turn 3. I wonder if someone's going to lose the back end round there at some point today. Blaze, all you need to do at the minute is just stay with him, and DRS should help you very nicely down that back straight. Slavkin actually giving Jamie a pretty good run for his money. Deranged getting a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Oh, there's the yellow flag. Ah, Deranged is out. Oh, VSC straight away. Blew 2 tyres coming off Force India. It's been a while since I've seen something like that happen, or a crash that badly, but thanks to turn up Deranged, but I don't think he is probably settled into that car very well. Bradley actually moving up with the position. This is what I mean, all he has to do is just drive percent speed, stay out of everyone's way, let the carnage unfold before him, and you'll be seeing the positions made up before he knows it. But under the VSC, I think the top 2 should have been separated by about half a second. They have very quick VSCs on F1 2018. I don't know how they are on 2019. I think at the minute my game's still installing its update file, so I've not had a chance to try it out for myself properly yet. But and the VSC is away already, and the DRS is enabled. I don't think it's in use. Oh, come on, give me a better camera angle than that. Sweeney may have been pushed off the track. I'll let this one slide for now, unless if any of the drivers wish to report it later on. But Sweeney practically caught napping off the VSC start there. So these two are going to be like savage dogs coming for the late stages of the race. I think surely the hypers wouldn't have start accumulating tyre wear straight away. Bradley is DNF'd as well. I think he was falling down the field anyway. It's a shame I couldn't actually see where he crashed. But Jamie catching up to the top 2 very nicely. I wonder if Sweeney will have a move into this corner. No, he's not. I don't think he's going to have the exit speed to fight back either. You can't really overtake him to this little chicane unless if you're actually side by side and you outbrake the car that you're next to. Coming through here, now it looks like Blaze is the one that's more twitchy coming into here. You see Sweeney placing his car perfectly, coming into the final few corners. But still using 3rd gear, that would give him the best traction coming onto the start straight, but personally I'd use 2nd gear so you actually get the acceleration. He's got DRS. Blaze going defensive, please don't crash. Sorry, I'm having Spa flashbacks already. I know it weren't these guys that crashed in Spa, but please, if you're going to race at this speed, guys, please be sensible. Round turn 3, not close enough. Sweeney actually caught in the dirty air a little bit of Blaze. He's actually being held up here because Sweeney's 4-lap old hypers, his tyre wear is going to be, it should be kicking in by now, but I don't think it will actually, like, they're going to be towards the end of their working life. So this is where Blaze will be able to stretch his legs. So the more he can keep Sweeney fighting, then he's going to ruin his tyres of the next couple laps. And you already see JME all over the back of his teammate. I wonder if these guys are going to give team orders or if they're actually going to be racing each other. So the gap building between these two now, I think that's because Sweeney actually had to defend from his teammate. But still, great opening few laps. What the hell was happening there? It's a shame that we lost the bottom two early on. I still really appreciate them giving it a go every time they turn up. And the Red Bull pair at the minute, I think it might end up being a battle of tyre strategies as well. And I really hope that Sauber's got ERS and fuel save, because he's going to need it down this back straight. So coming to turn 2. Still close, but not close enough for an overtake. So come around again for round number 6. I know it's lap 6, but these guys are going to be fighting toward the very end. Blaze getting a 3-second penalty. That's probably going to come back to haunt him. Or if at the time anyone makes the pit stops, I know it's a glitch because I've seen it happen way too many times in this game, but if anyone gets a 5-second penalty coming into the pit lane, I will remove that at the end of the standings. I'm well aware of those issues. But JME caught a second behind his teammate. So yeah, the thing is, with the pit lane entry, the game's how it's coded, it picks up the drivers coming into the pits at racing speed, but because Russia's pit lane is behind the apex, the game automatically gives you a penalty anyway for what it thinks you're going to do as corner cutting. It's just how its proximity works with the cars on track. So, no, Jamie doing a bit of a dummy pit stop. Yeah, we'll see if it happens, and if so, don't worry guys, if you get a 5-second penalty, that will be rectified, hopefully on track, before any stewards' inquiries have to happen. But while these guys are fighting up the front, we've also got the battle for 4th now. I've just seen Dragon on Speed, he's all over Slav King. Savkin going very deep into turn 2. He's offline through turn 3. Jeremy Morris getting a 3-second penalty. It's right on board with them, getting very close again. I just hope there's not going to be I've got a feeling there's going to be a massive accident at some point. Whether these guys get greedy or whether they just want to race hard, but please be sensible guys with anything that you do. Bear in mind, if any of these guys do make a mistake, then it will put Slav King and Dragon at a chance of a podium. This is a really compromising position for Jamie actually. The Sauber like practically getting swamped, he's put him in the wall. Oh, please don't say he's DNF'd. I saw that, Blaze, don't worry. I'll have to probably see an onboard from someone else, but I saw what Jamie was trying to do there. He was just trying to stick his nose in, and there just wasn't a full gap there, and the nature of the corner, he probably shouldn't have done that anyway. I think that would be classed as a tap out incident. So be prepared for a penalty, Jamie, coming into Abu Dhabi as you go alongside your teammate. Your teammate is a lot later in the brakes, he gives you the squeeze, and that's how you keep in first place. fair, I think any saving grace that Jamie would have of a penalty is whether he knew what his teammate was doing, because I saw the Sauber getting swamped, and then you know, both Red Bulls on the other side of the Sauber. There's nowhere that Blaze can go, but spatial awareness of Jamie, I think, should have been a little bit better. What I love now is with Blaze being temporarily stationary after that contact, he's now under threat from Slav King and Dragon, and he is nursing wing damage. So I believe around Russia you do need to repair your wing. I know it's only a little bit of wing damage, but we've got a few high speed corners on the track that you are going to need the downforce for. Still, the Red Bull pair giving us a pretty great show up at the front. Come on, camera. Coming into the final few corners, and Jamie not really having the run that he would want off the final corner. Let's see if DRS will give him any advantage into turn 2, or if there's anything that Sweeney has to give for defence. A little bit too far back on that occasion. Just riding ball at the back of the grid now, dragging on speed all over the back of Slav King. Coming into turn 2, side by side. Who's the latest on the brakes? Oh, that was nearly nasty. I think, yep, Slav King actually did rejoin behind Dragon, so that's all. Oh, there's contact between them. Where's that camera angle? I'm shocking as the race director, guys. I really apologise. I don't know if there was anyone in particular who can I give fault to that to. It was just close. No, actually, I think that was a race instance. Slav King actually just lost it coming through turn 3, and he ended up collecting Dragon as well. But I think these guys, yep, there's damage on the Sauber. I'm just waiting. There's no damage on the Renault, but those Hypers are going to be more cooked than a Honda engine on a barbecue. So I'm bored with the guys at the front again. And Jamie, he's trolling Sweeney with the amount of times he is coming into the pit lane. Sweeney a hell of a lot closer than Jamie was in the previous run. So he should have DRS, and he does. Coming down the straight, Jamie covers the inside. Sweeney's going to be later on the brakes, but he's not got the car positioned properly to challenge him for position. He's compromised himself coming onto turn 3, and oh, he's lost it. I tell you what, I was not expecting that. There is now wing damage on that Red Bull. Both Dragon and Slav King are in the pits. Is that Slav King actually getting a nose change? But I think the moment Blaze would see an early pit stop for a Red Bull, he's probably going to think karma, but unfortunately, mate, it's not the Red Bull that you had an instant with. I love it. 2 times now that I've seen Sweeney, Jamie and Blaze come together on track. It's not doing too well for the Conspiracy of the Year award for the awards night in about 2 weeks' time from now. We'll be having a 25% race around a track. I believe it will be Silverstone, but if any of these guys want to do another track, then just let us know. We just happen to do Silverstone for Division 1. It was a lot of fun. A few laughs with the guys. It was nice to see that actually everyone just enjoying themselves for a night and not some serious competition. And at the end of the awards night race, if they want to be doing if they want to do some donuts, they are all more than welcome to. Blaze actually still carrying on. Has he still got that broken front wing? I guess he thinks he can because he's got the tyre life too. Sweeney going to the ultra softs. I think they should make it to the end. Can't see any reason why they wouldn't. About 15 laps on the ultras. You might be pushing the tyre life, but I don't think that'll be a huge challenge for Sweeney to do. I think drive of the day so far. I think well, it's either between Jamie or Blaze. The fact that Blaze is still carrying on with a broken front wing, and I know that everyone's pitted around him, but this could really play into his favour just by staying out, and Jamie having probably one of his worst starts in league racing is now leading the race, so credit to him, he's come back through the field. But these guys surely have got to pit soon. I think JME, let's see, yep, he's in now. No one getting a pit lane penalty yet, so I'm glad that that's working for the moment. Let's see, I think the only info I've got on the guys some position changes. Blazed at one position at the moment, and Bradley getting one off the start. But Blaze now into the lead of the race. Let's ride on board with Sweeney and see where it will come out compared to his teammate. It's actually a slower pit lane than I thought. But Jamie is now accelerating out the pit lane. He's got a fairly decent gap to Sweeney. There we go. I was wondering why the gap wasn't updating there. But he is having to go defensive straight away on the pit exit. Hanging Sweeney around the outside. You can tell these guys are running like really high ballast if the cars are that twitchy around turn 3. Jamie, can you get a bit closer enough to have a DRS run? So if these guys actually end up scrapping with each other, they might hinder themselves for the win, or whenever Blazed comes into the pits. I mean, at the time where Blazed actually had his accident, I would have actually done what Dragon did and go onto the softs. But I think the softs are far too hard for this track. They're the tyre that, if you start on the hypers, you get caught up in an instant within the first 4 laps. Dragon getting a 3-second penalty. These guys go literally wheel to wheel under the bridge. Jimmy doing the switcheroo. I wouldn't say he clatters his teammate, but they're getting way too close for comfort. I think if these guys are in a chat party, they're going to be raging at each other. But Jamie does get past him. Yeah, I'll say with the softs actually being clearly the hardest compound available to the track. If you have any problems early on in the laps, the softs will easily make it to the end. I think they can do like 22, 23 laps easily around this track. But Sweeney now hanging Jamie around the outside. Jamie later on the brakes, but it doesn't get the best exit. Let's put Sweeney coming back at him. They're still wheel to wheel. This is great racing for the pair of them. All the while I'm realising that the further Blazed actually goes, and these guys are catching him, but they're not catching him that quickly because they're too busy fighting each other. I think if Blaze will go no longer than lap 16 on his tyres, so maybe lap 17, lap 18, whack on the hypers, it will easily have a 10 lap run to the end, and these guys will obviously be on older tyres by that point as well. So them scrapping it might actually cost them the race win. But this is great though. I love seeing guys go proper to real racing between them. It's a shame really that South King and Dragon actually came together as well. I was hoping to see more of those two together on track. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, Blaze is in the pits. The lead of the Sauber. It's starting lap 14. It's gone to another set of ultras. I think he's actually going to need to pit again. Whatever the rule is with the mandatory tyre compound, I'm pretty sure you can't use two of the same tyre. Many dramatic moments in this race and it's still not bloody over. We're barely even halfway through, but since we're here, guys, tomorrow we are doing a Le Mans endurance race on Project Cars 2. If any of you are interested, please let me know. We can give you a seat. I believe we've got a LMP1 seat available now. That's depending on if Collins can actually get his internet working in time. And all the usual social media stuff. Make sure to subscribe to his channel, Sweeney with the 3-second penalty. You'll get the notifications as soon as the videos come up on, online. Like us on Facebook to see all of our stewards inquiries, but the Facebook page will be coming more than just stewards instance for season 3. It will basically be just a mirror image of our Twitter page at NHRL Official. We're more than active enough, so if you want a few shout outs on there, please give us a follow on Twitter, NHRL Official, and subscribe to Division 1 as well for when all that circus starts off in August. Yeah, we're in July now, so we're still in the middle of recruitment, but I'm really happy to say that a lot of the Div 2 guys are actually moving forwards into Division 1, which will give us, I'm hoping, at least 4 extra cars to the grid, which will actually do us really well. I've heard we're getting 2 other drivers coming from abroad, so I'm really hoping that will work out for them. And the usual guys, I've got me, the Division 1 runner-up Luke Beck will be in Mercedes for Division 1 for Season 3. I believe Slav King and Collins will be teammates at Renault, and there's a little bit of a question mark over the Ferrari seats, but I'll let you guys know as of when those seats come available. Should all be tempting enough to bring back some of the old drivers, especially a resident Norwegian TNR racer. He's an amazing guy and he's a bloody good racer. And yeah, we should be having our resident Irishman Taze, who I don't think he's actually going to be commentating with me for the rest of this Division 2 season, because he's gone and not sold his game, but he's given it away so that he can play F1 2019. And I'm hoping later tonight that I can actually race anyone. So if any of you lot want open lobbers F1 2019, that'll be amazing, because I've not driven any of the cars yet, so I'm really intrigued to see how they handle. But I think we're about 2/3 of the way through the race now. Sweeney leads Jamie, still barely a quarter of a second separates them. See who's still set the fastest lap, and it is Jamie with a 1:35.2. And then the second fastest car is Blaze with a 1:35.3, so Blaze actually isn't that far from the point. And then you got Sweeney with a 1:36.2, and Slav King has actually gone faster with a 1:35.8, and then Dragon do well just to keep all 4 wheels on the track at the minute with a, what was it, a 1:37.2. Unfortunately, the Grand Slam isn't on for Jamie today, but so far he's got all the bonus points that he needs to for this week's race, and yeah, hopefully for him he can score the maximum 28 points available. I'm sorry if I'm like slowing down my commentary. I've been awake for far too bloody long. I'm so tired, and I'm probably not going to get any sleep until this time tomorrow. I'm going to be awake for so long. Jamie, you're still giving it to him. This is the fight that I was hoping for, but it's still not the fight I was expecting. I just really wish Blaze would catch up to them. I wonder if penalties will actually come into effect later on in the race. I think the top three have all got penalties anyway. Sweeney might have another one. Jamie getting on the DRS, coming into the end of the straight. Gives squeezing his teammate, but nah, Sweeney's fighting back. Leaves him to drive around the outside. And yeah, we just can't really fight back. Gotta wait now until the start, or the start finish straight. Unless you want to be really stupid and chuck it in at one of these corners. We're coming on the straight now. Jamie will have DRS, but we're going to see if Sweeney will leave him out to dry. Let's see if he can get closer. Oh, he's very close. Yep, Sweeney's still managing to keep it well placed on the corner exit. Again, he's leaving Sweeney to go the long way round. Sweeney could easily outbrake him as he's doing, but it compromises your run onto the next corner. You practically need like DRS closing speed around the exit of turn 3. See that Dragon's come into the pits now. He's got more than enough time to whack on a set of hypers. I'm wondering if he will end up going for the fastest lap. Yeah, that's the point as well for Division 1, with the fastest lap points being awarded on F1 2019. South King Robo 3-second penalty. I think that's everyone on the grid now has got a time penalty. But the way how I'm going to rule with Season 3, this goes for Division 2 as well. The fastest lap point will be awarded for, I believe it's like the top 10 drivers that set the fastest lap. But to be eligible for the New Horizons fastest lap award, that I won't really mind where you finish. I'll still take into account you could be last and still set the fastest lap DNF and you'd still be in for the award. How you guys feel about that? Tough. I'm just really hoping for some competition for the next season. The future of Division 2, it's a question mark, but not actually due to the numbers. It's due to Codemasters not actually bringing out the F2 cars as quickly as I thought they would. I'm still going to try and keep it amateur based. So I know the Red Bull pair that came in, they were only here because they wanted to race. So I'm just letting them do that, but Blazed actually really proved his worth here. You can tell he's Div 1 quality. We've seen Slav King in Div 1 again for Season 3. Bradley, I don't know, we'll probably come across each other again. At the moment, Season 3 Div 2 starts again. And Deranged, depending on how quick you get the game, will depend if you can still race with us in August. Who's that? Oh, okay. I've only just realised again, we are like literally the final 7 laps. The Rebel pair is scrapping that badly. The gap to Blaze went from about 10 seconds to roughly 4.5. Look, there's barely milliseconds between these two. And Blazed is, I think these guys are going to have all the grip in the world from the tyres anyway. But Blazed is catching them. I really hope we can have a last lap shootout. I wonder who was doing a rain dance before, but I guess it's good that we've not had a rain affected session. Jamie looking at the inside, he doesn't go for the move. I guess why would he? He comes more to the outside. Dragging on the speed, absolute legend. Hats off teammate for going for that faster swap. I wonder if there's going to be a massive accident between these two at some point. But to be fair, they've not taken each other off yet. I think some of them have. You can tell I'm tired. I forgot if they actually already came together. Blazed is now within the same shot. He's gained a second on them this lap. You can imagine the moment Blaze gets within 1 second of him, DRS will be playing massively into his favour. These two still side by side. Into turn 2, sorry. Sweeney, he knows what he's doing through that corner. He knows how to keep Jamie behind him. Jamie, he just needs to probably have more saved ERS and save some fuel and get a clear advantage going down one of the straights. I think that's the only way he's going to be able to keep, like, one, get in front of Sweeney, and two, just do the same as what Sweeney's doing to him, and you should be able to keep him behind you. But the gap is coming down. Watch that gap for the third place. I'm going to try and see the onboard from this. You can see them. Surely you should be getting like a whiff of slipstream. I bet Blaze is actually begging for an accident. I think for his sake, if he would finish ahead of Jamie, that would be it'd be nice considering. In my opinion, it's still open for investigation, but the incident with Jamie and Blazed was the Red Bull's fault. You just got to be spatially aware. You just can't like stick your nose into that kind of corner. At that speed as well that you're doing, it's like well over 180 miles an hour. It's almost like, what did you think was going to happen? He's going again. Personally, Jamie, I'd be further over, giving him a squeeze. You'd be late on the brakes, otherwise, you know, that's going to happen. Come on, Blaze, give it everything, mate. I only want him to get closer so we can have a three-way fight for the last couple of laps. He's gaining on them now, but he is not as close as I would want him to. I think these guys are like, oh no, he's there now, but yet Blaze is there. Just stay with him, and he's going to have DRS coming, and he just drops out of the window. Oh, come on, he's got to have DRS now. We'll see when we get to the line. He might not even need it. He's all over these guys. He is on 3 lap younger tyres than the guys ahead. Oh wow, this is what I wanted to see. Jamie actually getting out of the way, so Blaze can focus all his efforts on Sweeney, but a little bit too aggressive on the throttle there. The car's starting to slide around a little bit. So at this point, the tyre wear for the Red Bulls will actually start kicking in. Blazed will actually be able to push on technically fresh rubber still for the next 2 laps. So no, top 3 is not decided yet. It's credit to Dragon. Great job for actually going for the fastest lap and actually pulling it off. Come on, Sweeney, show him what you're worth. You wanted the fair fight. These two have been egging each other on early this afternoon in the Div 2 chat. They want a fair fight and see where they actually stand. I mean, in Hungary, Blaze had issues where his car decided to turn into a boat, and then at Spa, I believe Sweeney started from the back, and there was an incident with Blaze and JME, so we couldn't actually see a fair fight between them. But this is the tiebreakers, the decider. Who the hell is going to win this race? Come down the DRS straight. I wonder if Sweeney's actually got the ERS to defend as well. Blaze come around the outside. He tries to give him the squeeze, but it's still not close enough. Right, he's got to fend off Jamie at the same time. I think Sweeney, he would only really be worried about Blaze behind him. Sideways salve it again. That might actually put him under a little bit of pressure. Just keep your head cool, mate. I don't want any repeats of Canada. Sweeney, I don't want any repeats of Hungary. And Jamie, I don't want any repeats of Spa. Come on, get in the slipstream. You could at least get close. At least he's compromising his teammate. That's what I'm bored with. Jamie's got all the ERS he'd probably need at this point. He's using it. He's going to go for the same move again, but like, look, he's compromised his exit speed. You couldn't really do that move if you're actually fairly close to the guys. There's a game 3-second penalty that might have just ended it for him. Now I think he's still going to be giving it everything. A little bit of a shocking exit there. Please give more space on that, guys. I'm trying to... he's got wing damage again. That's actually tragic. Well, luckily with these guys and the penalties that are throughout the field, I think these guys are still going to secure the 1, 2, 3. I don't even think if Blaze wants to go for P3, if he'd even have the tyres to do the fastest lap. I mean, what's he got to lose is the bloody champion anyway, but it's going to suck to lose a race win. Right, final 3 laps to go. Jamie still like nowhere, they're close, but he's nowhere near able to stick it to his teammate and just keep the car in front. You see him going, actually a tight line to him, so he goes to the outside last minute, not anywhere near as late in the brakes as he would need to be. It's such a shame for Blaze though. Blaze getting wing damage from that little tank slapper. I'm just gonna check the race direct quickly, see how many incidents people have got. Sweeney with 1 penalty. Jamie is like borderline another penalty, and Blaze actually isn't too far behind from another 3-second penalty. So if Jamie actually gets another, oh my god, that's way too close. If Jamie gets another 3-second penalty and Blaze is still within the 3-second window, he's going to get second. Not that he knows that, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be giving it everything. Final 2 laps, guys. Come on, let's see what you got. It's still a shame that Blaze had that happen to him, because he was actually on for the win with his younger tyres. I know they would have made the end. Sweeney actually doing great driving there, sticking it his teammate around the outside again. Do I think Blaze could have won the race? Yes. I think Sweeney would have had a decent shot at it as well. I think even if Blaze would have been in first place anyway, the race probably would have came down to penalties at the end. But I'm really happy to see that there's no pit lane glitch penalties for the 5 seconds, or if there is and I've not noticed any, please let me know. Just barely a tenth between them. Coming into one of the fastest corners, they bang wheels, and Jamie gets something out to dry again. You'd think he'd learned. Oh, Jamie with a 3-second penalty. This might be the saving grace that Blazed is after. Bear in mind, if he doesn't get penalties, Blaze is into the pits. I hope he knows it's the last lap. He is not going to be able to go for the fastest lap while he's in the pits, when Dragon set a pretty decent time anyway. Slav King up into third now. These guys still going side by side. He's gone the hypers. Yeah, I think he's going to realise his mistake there. These two they know it's the last lap. They're giving it bloody everything now. Jamie actually sticking it to his teammate. Nicely done. But Sweeney knows how to place his car. But what's amazed me about these two the most is, despite how close they've gotten, there's been no stupid, aggressive or dangerous driving from any of them. It's just been hard but fair racing at its bloody peak. They've both got around the same ERS, so yeah, they're going to be fighting into the next couple of corners. Although Jamie with that penalty, I don't know if he'll actually win the race or not. I mean, he probably will if Sweeney gets another penalty. I think Sweeney might need 2 more penalties. But coming into the final few corners now, Jamie is currently leading. He's crashed! He's crashed at the penultimate corner. Sweeney gets gifted the win. Slav King and Blazed are going to be on the podium. What the hell has happened? Dragon, even after all this, is going to finish 4th. Blazed, who had the biggest smile on his face having seen that. Penalties applied and everything. I'm really sorry, Dragon, I've not been able to follow on board with you for much, but I'm going to give you some well-deserved airtime now. Absolute bloody drama. I wouldn't have called that, ever. Let's see, fast lap. Yeah, Dragon on Speed will retain the fastest lap, unless he's not going to go any faster on 10-lap old hypers. But, Jamie, you got the pole position points. You did it well. Dragon tries to do donuts across the line. Well done to all the drivers tonight. Be bloody happy with that. I know that Jamie isn't happy, but you did well to actually come through the grid. You still get your bonus points for your pole position. The final race results are: Sweeney wins for Red Bull, Slav King picking up 2nd place for Renault, Blazed in 3rd place, having a few incidents during the race. Fair play to him, still getting on the podium. Dragon, really well done for getting 4th place. The gut-wrenching, heartbreaking moment, Jamie has probably lost the win, but he's still going to get points for his 5th place and his pole position. Bradley DNFing very early on, still received 8 points for Ferrari, and Deranged crashing out early on as well, still getting 6 points for Force India. What a race. I'll see you guys in the post-race interviews. Back to the post-race interviews of New Horizons Racing League Division 2. We've just had an absolute stellar of a race around Slavic land of Russia. I've got the top 3 with me here. Race winner Sweeney, 2nd place man Slav King Robo, and 3rd place Blazed Gaming. I would say where do we even start, but we might as well start off in 3rd place. Blazed, what a race. tell us about it.
I'm not really happy with that because I shouldn't have been taken out by Sweeney on the first few laps, but you know, yeah, was it you or was it Jamie?
It was Jamie.
I believe it was Jamie.
Alright, well, somebody took me out, and I had front wing damage, so I was kind of limping around the track for a few laps. Went on to the ultra softs, not realizing that I had to go onto the hyper softs at some point. Tells me on the second to last lap that I had to pit for those mandatory tyres, and that was it. I thought my podium race was over, and then Jamie goes and bottles it on the final lap. I don't know if I deserve this or not, but whatever.
I would say yes, just for the fact that you gave it a go. I guess you and Jamie have now you've got something to relate to now, Canada. But one thing I wanted to say to you, you know, after you had that contact, you were driving around with your broken front wing. Was it that hard to drive because you were still able to keep it with them? I was thinking you were going to make it work, and by the looks of it, you did.
It was orange, partly front right, I think it was, and it was pretty hard to drive, and I just thought after the second moment where I just dipped into the wall, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna let Jamie by because there was no point in me trying to fight him because it's just gonna result in an off for both of us, so I just let him by in the end.
Fair play. But again, you know the mandatory tyre compound rule? How long have you been playing these games?
December.
Seriously? Fair enough.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, fair play to still. I still think that's a deserved podium, but probably not in the order any of us were expecting. Slav King, podium at Slavic Land. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was such a quick surprising, to be honest, with where I came. I mean, thanks to Bottle Job for doing what he did.
Bottle Job.
For the second place. But nah, all jokes aside, it was a fun little race to have. Qualifying was fun. There was a bit of a controversial moment. It was when Blaze had damaged front wing. He broke like quite early into turn 2, causing me to go into the escape route quite a few times. And it wasn't helpful when I had another Sauber behind me. And then,
I may have caught that.
And then on lap 9, with the hypersofts, they somehow just went, and that caused me to spin, and so I jogged for what happened there. You didn't need to let me. You don't need to let me pass next time, mate. If that happens, because that was on my part. And just a battle to keep up to Sweeney's, Jamie, and Blazed. It was just fun.
Yeah, it was a solid drive from you and Dragon. Like before your little instant that I did catch. It was nice because. Blame it on who you want, despite the fact that Russia's track surface is practically made of velvet. But after, I don't want to be like too disrespectful to the guys that DNF'd, but there was racing all up and down the grid as soon as those two had crashed out. And yeah, do you think you, without that incident, you would have legitimately gotten any higher, or do you think probably 4th best was on the cards?
I think 4th best would be on the cards, to be honest with you, mate.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I've covered just about everything there. Oh,
I am from Russia. I say Bolivia.
Braja. No, but one more thing I was going to ask. You know, when you saw Jamie crash, you know when the little gamer tag thing at the bottom says he DNFs, how did you feel there, and then how did you feel where you saw his car?
When I saw his car, I wasn't too fussed about it. When I saw his name come up, I'll say, oh god, he's played on a track somewhere, hasn't he?
but literally like.
But I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised though.
The last corner. I think it would have been great if he would have came around the last corner, span it into the wall, and he's like a metre away from crossing the line. That would have been golden. But I need to move on to race winner. Sweeney, huge congratulations on the win. How was that race for you? Like,
where do I start? Well, lights out, Jamie did a Max Verstappen, so that sort of helps. But honestly, I was genuinely blown away by Lewis's pace at the beginning of the race. That was absolutely fantastic. I was just sort of trying to save my ERS, save my fuel, sort of get into a nice rhythm, and Blaze was there just bombing it quite nicely. After the VSC restart, I had not the best of tyres and managed to get me, but I managed to get him back. And as soon as Jamie caught up, it was just game on from then. Through to the finish, I sort of bottled it at turn 3 a little bit. I forgot I was on 50% warm hypers. So yeah, that was a bit fantastic, but managed to get a sort of an undercut on Jamie. And yeah, it was a good race, start to finish. And then obviously, unfortunate what happened to him at the last corner. I kind of wanted to win legitimately on track rather than on penalties. But yeah, it was a great race, thoroughly enjoyable.
I mean, it really was great racing from the top 3, just how close you guys were. I know there was a few instances where you got a little bit too close, but I hope there's no bad blood between anyone yet. But I forgot what I was going to ask you now. From the start, did you think that you were going to win legitimately, or did you think you were going to be second or probably fall down the order?
I mean, knowing Jamie, I was kind of expecting a bottle, but I mean, I was kind of confident, kind of not. I had a good quali, but anything can happen, especially around Sochi.
It definitely can.
Definitely. But yeah, especially running a bit of an uncomfortable setup, me and Jamie, so it was a bit over serious, so I was kind of sweating. I didn't really know I was going to win. I had a good feeling I could have won, but it played out in the end, I guess.
Yep. One thing I did notice with quite a few of the guys' setups, you must have been running really high rear ballast, because the amount of tail happy moments around turn 3 was beyond belief. But be prepared that half of this race footage is going to be Sweeney hanging Jamie around the outside, and Jamie is just left out to dry. And
still practice on him. 1v1s and everything. So.
But still, like, really well done though, and credit from me. Despite the fact how close you guys were, you weren't dirty, you weren't dangerous, and you weren't aggressive. It was just hard, clean racing.
Well, it should be.
Yep. Right, I'm gonna have to round that off here then. Thanks guys for joining me up here. Back next week, final round in Abu Dhabi, and then the week after that we are doing the what do you call it? Awards night.
Awards evening.
Yeah.
And then we've got 24 hour month tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Let us know if any of you guys are interested in that, and I'll see you guys next week.